Here I want to go in and I've added a horizontal rule. The way I did that is I went over here into my blocks, opened this up again. I just opened that up and I said I wanted a horizontal rule. It's called a separator. So I grab that separator, I drug it out here and it just created a line. And then I added another block and I said spacer, and I grabbed that spacer and put it here. And then I drug that spacer to the height that I wanted, and I want it to be 42 pixels tall to give a little bit of space to this. Then I put in a paragraph item. So I put that paragraph in. I came in here and I hit heading. I want it to be a heading. It says H2. I could change it to H1. And then I did that. I want it to be an H2 personally because I like that size better. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to put in a visual how-to into my how-to guide. So I put that text there, or put the image there. But remember, I want my text explaining it to be above it. So I'm going to put my number 1. And the reason why I started with the period is that if I start with 1 dot, let me get back in here. If I start with 1 period and then hit a space, it makes it a list. And I don't want it to be a list because I'm going to have each element have its text directly after. So to trick it, I put period 1 period space. Then I come back and delete that first period, and then the space remains and it doesn't make it a list. So here I'm going to say I want to, in order to put in a text block header, add a paragraph. You can add a header, and change. How about this? We'll say take the first paragraph element and change it to a heading element by clicking the icon in the left part of the fly out menu. By the way, that's one of the things, fly out menus or pop-up menus, and you do that. So now I can come in here, I can add my next piece of text, and it will automatically, because I'm starting with the number 2, it will ignore that this is an element. It'll think that it's just text because numbered lists are going to start with number 1. We are going to then add text blocks by, and then I'm going to do another thing. 1, I want to either add them by using the auto added block, text block, and begin typing into it. Number 2, you can drag the the paragraph block onto the screen where you want it. And then, or you can hover just below the block you are in. Click the blue plus that appears. All right, so with that said, I'm going to now do this. It's actually a black plus. Slash blue line that appears. All right, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to take a screen capture like this. Now I'm going to grab that one, and I'm going to drop it right. Nope. Did I get it? Nope, I didn't. Let me try that again. So we've got that. Now I'm going to take a screen capture. Okay, didn't work that time again. Now let's do this, grab that. Now let me grab the actual screenshot off my desktop and then drag it to right there. It should appear. All right, you know what? Let's add an image. Add an image. Upload. Actually, let me select image. Let's see if it actually. Nope. Select image from my media library. It did not upload. So I'm going to do that. Scroll all the way down here on my home page. I'm going to grab that one, hit upload. And now, once it finishes uploading, I'm going to actually drag it right. There. It's supposed to go right to there. Well, you know what? I've got this one, drag the paragraph. So now I'm going to do this right here. This right here, and do a screenshot. Now let's see if I gathered that. I'm actually going to have to move this to a new screen in order to do this, because here we go. Now I'm going to edit this image down real quick, and then I'll bring it over on the screen so you can see it. There's that. Squish this into here just a touch and hit done. Now I'm going to bring this back over into here so we can talk from here, where I'm going to grab this screenshot and let me drag this image into place and then hit upload. And now I want to crop. Zoom in just a touch. Hit apply. And there we go. Now let's drag this image up to well, it turns out I can't do that. That's why I'm doing these types of lists like this. So let's do it like this. I want this entire list to not be a list. I want it to be a paragraph. Okay, and this is where I would come in and then put, where'd the mouse go? Okay, sorry, my mouse disconnected right there. All right, this one is going to come right up here, drag the paragraph block. There's that. This one is going to be down here. And then this one is, because I've got one right here, there's that. Bring my paragraph block in and just say, just type here. Now, of course, I got to put my arrow in place, because what would it be without an arrow? Hit done, grab that image, drop it in place. And then I'm going to start by saying, or you can convert your paragraph, let's just do this, to a list element by starting with one dot space or into a numbered ordered list, or a bullet list by starting with a bullet. So watch this. I'm going to use a hyphen, or I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do a bullet. It's supposed to start there. So actually, so you're going to have to start with a hyphen or the minus sign. And you don't need the period in there, so I'm going to put the period outside. And then also you can change text paragraph elements to a list by changing them with the icon in the left of the fly out menu toolbar. All right, so I'm going to bring pictures of my list from my other page. So I'm going to save this page. I'm going to go back to my Block Explorer page and get a screenshot of my lists. So I do this and do this. And now I go back into my how-to guide. How-to guide. I scroll to the bottom. Scroll. And I'm going to put this image in place there. And there you go. All right. So I'm going to send you this text and these images so that you can continue your how-to guide. All right. See you in class.